We're back to the Neil Haley Show. And one of the things I tell all my clients, I tell people when they come on podcasts, I tell people when they do radio shows, I tell when they're speaking on Clubhouse, is the power of story. The power of story. And if you do not present the right story, you will lose opportunities. So I'm excited to welcome the program, Star Bobatoon. Star, thanks for stopping by. I want to know what your background really quickly, but our topic today is storytelling and the presenting that story. How are you?
Excellent. I am excellent. Thank you so much for having me here, Neil. I am a great fan. Here's the deal. I started out on stage and screen. I mean, television, movies, commercials. This was my life. But at the height of my career, there was a lot of tension in my family. And so I gave up acting, being on the stage. That was it. I took my gift, my voice, I put it up on a shelf and I let it go. And this went on for 25 years, until I went to a seminar held by world-renowned motivational speaker, Les Brown. And Les talked about how many people he did not touch, how many people he didn't serve because he didn't use his voice. And there was something about that, Neil, that just said, that's it. That's enough of hiding. That's enough of denying. You know, Marianne Williamson talks about hiding your light so that others aren't offended by your brilliance. I decided that was enough. Came back to the stage, this time as a speaker and a trainer. And now what I do now is I help polish the presentations of professional women. I help sharpen their speaking skills so that they can give dynamic performances on every stage they take, every time they speak.
I've said this countless times. If you can't speak and present and tell a story, you're not going to be able to be a brand, especially if you are a solopreneur or if you are a speaker, author, coach. If you can't do those things well, you're never going to get to turn your potential leads to closing sales and opportunity and grow a tribe. Am I correct?
You are absolutely correct. Speaking, communicating, this is what it's about. But look, communication is not just about our presentations and our businesses. Communication is key to what we do. It impacts our relationships, our businesses. It impacts society. And we need to learn how to communicate, how to share what we have. And we need to be able to do that in a dynamic and captivating way. And you're absolutely right, Neil. A story is the best way to do that.
So the power of story, the biggest missing component, I would even say in my podcasting career, I more and more get story and how that people like story. And you always want, when you're interviewing these unbelievable, interesting celebrities, you always want to ask them the same questions everyone else would ask, but that's missing it. You want to get to the story because the story is going to get their fans. Man, I never heard this story before. You're interviewing somebody and they're telling a story of how they made their first million or how they overcame cancer or they did certain things. The story is the way to get people to pay attention. Without a story, no one's paying attention, right?
You're absolutely right. Absolutely. I believe that your story gives you three things, Neil. Your story gives you distinction, it gives you connection, and it gives you conversion. You think about how many businesses there are out there, 31 million entrepreneurs out there. There are 17,500 coaches out there. What is going to distinguish you from the next person? Oh, Neil, and I hate it when people say, well, I give excellent service and I really care about my people. Excuse me? Everybody says that. But the thing that you have that distinguishes you from everyone else is your story. Nobody has your story. And the next thing is connection. You got to connect with people. You know this, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. We've heard that 1,000 times. And there is scientific proof that when people are in storytelling mode, they are better connected with the audience. The audience is better connected with the speaker. When they're in storytelling mode, the brain releases a chemical called oxytocin. You may have known this one because this is the love chemical, right? It makes you feel affinity. So you're going to get that connection. And then finally, it's about conversion. When you have that connection, that's going to lead to conversion. Yes. People are more likely to buy from you. Price doesn't matter because they have that loyalty.
Exactly.
You only get that when you tell your story.
So think about, you bring up Les Brown, who I've had on my show twice. He's a phenomenal guy. I've seen him on Clubhouse tons of times. He really inspires people. Every time you're in the same room with Les, you're like, holy cow. Think about Grant Cardone, same thing. You think about specific people that, wow, that just give you that wow factor. Even Elon Musk, you look at just certain people that just, guess what? You're just blown away because of the persona, the brand. This is such an important thing. And if you can't bring the power story so they don't know, like, and trust you, you are not going to differentiate yourself. So one great tip right now, if you don't like speaking, because I'm telling you, Star, there's tons of people that don't like speaking. They don't want to tell stories. One thing right now you give my listeners.
The one thing I would say is it's not all about you. If you could get the focus from about you, what do they think of me? What are they going to look at me? How do I look? Could you stop that for a moment? Focus on what you have to share with your people. There are people out there that are looking to hear your voice only. When I was at that seminar and I saw Les Brown, there were 10 other amazing speakers there, but there was one voice that touched me, that moved me, that changed the trajectory of my life. Someone is waiting to hear your voice. And so I encourage you to go ahead and share that voice.
The best place, where can we go right now to learn about you, Star? Where can we go?
Connectwithstar.com. All the information you want is with connectwithstar.com, and free guide for you, 5 steps to a captivating story. Just go to connectwithstar.com.
So you say we're involved in acting. So you have an IMBD and stuff. You said you were doing acting before?
Yes, I do.
Oh, give me 1 point on that. Because I mean, so what have you been in?
I was in a TV series called Palmerstown. It was a story of Alex Haley. And I played the older sister. There's a lead role in a TV show. But no, here's the deal, Neil. Here's the deal. I once beat out Janet Jackson for the lead role in that show. That's right. I beat out Janet Jackson.
So that's your thing. That's just like my call to fame, because I was a former pro wrestler, is The Rock wore my knee pads. I got to tell Suzanne Evans that before The Rock was The Rock. So there you go. So we come up with our claim to fame. There's your claim to fame for sure.
There it is.
There you go. All right, Star. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. And everyone needs to check her out, because guess what? She's very exciting. She knows what she's talking about. And honestly, I can tell she's a great teacher. So thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much, Neil. Take care.
All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.